A minister had just closed the revival. As he sat there in the station waiting on his time to go home, there was a stranger walked up and looked over his shoulder, and he said, "Sir," he said, "that's a mighty fine scripture you're meditating on. But he said, if you've got time," he said, "I'd like to tell you a story about John 3:16. He said, "I'd like for you to take a walk with me." The preacher got up and followed a man out of the station and down the street. They came to this big round building. He said, "Preacher, as long as I can remember," he said, "this has been a mission. And to enter this mission, all you had to do was just go up and knock at the door. And when a man answered, just say John 3:16. He said, they'll take you in and take care of you." One night, a little paper boy came up to a policeman and he said, "Sir, would you buy a paper from me?" The policeman said, "Son," he said, "I'd like to help you." He said, "The Lord knows I would. But," he said, "I just can't." But he said, "If you'll go down the street to that big round building down there and just knock at the door, and when a man answered, just say John 3:16. He said, they'll take you in and take care of you." The little boy went down there and he knocked at the door, and when the man answered, he just said John 3:16. He said, "Well, come in, son, and sit before the fire and warm yourself." He said, "You look like you're cold." As the little boy sat there in front of a good warm fire, he thought of himself, "I don't know what John 3:16 is, but it sure warm a poor boy up." The man asked him, said, "Son, would you like to have something to eat?" He said, "Yes, I would, sir." He said, "I would eat in 3 days." A man brought before him a big platter of food and then went on back through the building. As the little boy sat there eating up food, he thought again of himself, "I don't know what John 3:16 is, but he'd sure feed a hungry boy." The man asked him, said, "Son, would you like to take a bath?" He said, "Yes, I would." As he sat there in a good warm tub of water, he thought again of himself, "I don't know what John 3:16 is, but he'd sure clean a poor boy up." The man asked him, said, "Son, would you like to spend the night?" He said, "Yes, I would, sir." As he lay there in a good warm bed, he thought again of himself, "I don't know what John 3:16 is, but he'd sure find rest for a weary soul." The next morning, the little boy got up and ate his breakfast and got ready to go on his way. The man said, "Son, if you ever need help, would you come back this way?" The little boy said, "Sir, there's one thing I want to know before I leave this building. Just what's the meaning of John 3:16? He said, "Do you mean, son, you ain't never heard how God gave his only begotten Son, that we might have life and have it more abundantly?" He said, in the St. John's Gospel, 3rd chapter, 16th verse, it says, "For God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believeth in him would not perish, but have everlasting life." As the little boy stepped through the mission that morning, he found the true meaning of John 3:16. And I pray as you listen to this song, if you don't know him, you'll let him come real in your life. For he's just as real as you see nature around you, if you'll give him a chance.